Dead Cuticles and Dirty Money. Friday, March 14th, 2025. Buckhead, Atlanta, Georgia. The morning started like every other Friday. My name's Sade Evans, licensed nail tech, full-time entrepreneur, part-time true crime addict. My alarm went off at 6:30 a.m., but like always, I snoozed it twice. I finally got up when the scent of my vanilla espresso candle clashed with the cold cup of yesterday's Starbucks on my nightstand. It was a gloomy morning in Buckhead.
Hey goddess babes, welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing some nails at home, vibing to a great story, and of course adding a little glam to our day. So go grab a snack, get comfy, and let's jump right in.
If you're new here, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss an upload. Skies, slight drizzle, and the kind of silence that feels suspiciously calm. I had 3 back-to-back clients at my in-home studio, Nails by Sade, starting at 8:30 a.m. One of them, my longtime client and friend, Nyla Moore, a luxury finance consultant who always paid in cash and wore Cartier like it was Forever 21. Nyla arrived late, unusual for her. She was wearing a black trench coat, Prada loafers, and not a lick of makeup, also very unusual. She looked stressed. "Girl, I've had a week," she said, dropping into the chair like her body gave up on her. I tried to keep it light. "What's wrong? Another finance bro skipping invoices?" She looked me dead in the eyes and said, something like that. "Let's just say I'm dealing with some recalculations." She laughed, but it didn't reach her eyes. As I worked on her almond-shaped matte burgundy set, I noticed something else. Her cuticles were raw, like she'd been nervously picking at them for hours. I filed, buffed, and stayed quiet, the way nail techs do when the client clearly has secrets. But she broke the silence on her own. "You ever wonder how much blood money passes through Atlanta every day?" she asked. I stopped mid-top coat. No, but now I'm wondering." She smirked. "Never mind. Forget I said that." Just as Nyla left, a sharp knock echoed through my house. 2 knocks. Pause. 3 more. At the door stood a man in a navy suit, badge hanging like a heavy necklace. Behind him, a uniformed officer scanned my street like someone was watching us. "Miss Evans?" he said. "I'm Detective Kamari Brooks, Atlanta Homicide. We need to ask you a few questions about one of your clients, Nyla Moore." My heart dropped into my acrylic tip drawer. "What happened?" "She's been reported missing as of 6 a.m. this morning." I blinked. "That can't be right, she was just here." He blinked back, slowly. "Are you sure it was her?" My breath caught. "Yes, I just did her nails." The detective looked at the uniformed cop and muttered something under his breath. Then he handed me his card. "If she contacts you again, call me, immediately." I was shook. But I still had clients coming in, and I had bills to pay. My 1:30 was a girl named Jada. She was new, found me on TikTok. While I was doing her set, a white chrome coffin, my mind raced back to Nyla. Then I noticed something. On my polished tray, under the pile of cotton pads, was a small folded receipt. Wells Fargo withdrawal, $85,000 time, 5:41. AM name, Karina Lee Moore. Karina? That was Nyla's real name. The name she never used. And what was she doing withdrawing that much cash before she came to see me? And why didn't she look like someone who just moved $85K? Later that evening, while eating leftover lemon pepper wings and editing nail content, a breaking news banner flashed across my TV screen. Body found in Midtown Alley identified as finance consultant Karina Lee Moore. My blood ran cold. How? She was just here. The news anchor continued. Authorities believe the victim was murdered between 5:30 and 7 a.m. this morning. Surveillance footage shows her entering a Wells Fargo in East Point. No video of her leaving. I dropped my phone. That didn't make sense. I saw her at 8:38 a.m., clear as day. But then something clicked. The cuticles. The heavy coat. The way she said, recalculations. Shaking, I opened the photo app on my phone. I always take hand pics after every client for my portfolio. I zoomed in on Nyla's hand, the matte burgundy, but something was off. Her right thumb had a deep scar, Nyla never had that. But you know who did? Her twin sister, Kenya Moore. A woman she hadn't spoken to in years. A woman who used to work as a mortuary makeup artist. A woman with access to her sister's ID. And suddenly, it made sense. The woman I saw wasn't Neela. It was Kenya, posing as Neela after killing her. She needed the cash, she needed the identity, and she needed a new set of nails to complete the disguise. Just before midnight, I got a text from a blocked number. "You do really clean work. Thanks for helping me disappear. K." I stared at the screen, heart racing. And in that moment, I realized I wasn't just a nail tech anymore. I was the last person to see the real Nyla alive, and the first to give her killer a fresh start. 10:28 p.m., a manicure and a motive. I couldn't sleep. I kept replaying the morning in my mind, her posture, her choice of nail color, even the way she held her phone like it was foreign to her. Kenya had clearly studied her sister, but there was one thing she couldn't fake: muscle memory. Nyla always tapped her nails on the counter after a top coat dried. Kenya didn't. She just sat still, fingers curled ever so slightly inward, like she was waiting for instructions. And the more I thought about it, the more I remembered how Kenya had always been the shadow, jealous of Nyla's flashy life, high-end clients, and secretive success. Maybe this wasn't just about money. Maybe it was personal. My curiosity pushed me to dig deeper. I grabbed my laptop and pulled up an old message thread from a year ago, back when Nyla casually mentioned her sister's sketchy job at a now-defunct funeral home in Macon. I searched the business name. Nothing recent, but an archived news article popped up. Funeral home employee accused of ID fraud, body tampering. Charges dropped due to lack of evidence. The mugshot? Kenya Moore. That explained everything. She knew how to manipulate a scene, how to delay identification, and more importantly, how to disappear. The timing, the coat, the silence. It was all part of a plan she'd probably been crafting for months. As I sat back in the glow of my LED nail lamp, my phone vibrated again. This time, it was a calendar alert. A new appointment, booked for Monday morning. No name, just initials. KM. The note section read, "Same burgundy, clean shape, no talking." My stomach twisted. I should have called the detective. I should have blocked the number. But part of me needed to see her again. Not for closure, for answers. Because if there's one thing I've learned as a nail tech, it's that people can lie with their words but never with their hands.